Y'all, it's cold. It's really cold tonight, and I don't appreciate it. But everyone's doing real well. We're not really having any new problems, but everyone either here and in quarantine's been doing great. Um, it's too cold. It is too cold. Like it is just the end of summer, and we are just already getting to the point where I don't want to be in summer attire anymore. But hopefully it's just a fluke. How's Cookie? Cookie's doing great. She's in the quarantine building because of our most recent scare on outbreaks, but she is starting to come in silver on her chest. She's starting to silver out. Hello, how are you doing? So Cookie's doing great. We have confirmed with Cookie being 5 weeks old, right? I am like 90% sure that she is a. Can you make a video of the butcher barn? I just posted one on my TikTok like last week. It's funny because I call it my butcher barn, right? And I was like, oh yeah, this is my butcher barn. And it's just a bunch of feed. So glad she ended up being a girl. Yeah, you and me both, because oh boy, I was terrified. I was like, this thing better be a girl. But all right, let's check on some baby bunnies. I've been limiting access to the barn. So let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So we got our solid black baby. Any tips on catching a kit that got out? Mine normally just come right up to me, or if they're just being jerks, I take a bowl of food and I shake it, and that gets them running. So in this litter, right? I like that little solid black. The new Tri Baby looks so cute, right? Look at this little Tri Baby. Look at her. She's adorable. She's so ornamented. I love it. She has a little nose mark. Oh, but the one I'm really, really excited about, though, let me grab her, is this one right here. This little spotted kit. I'm really hoping it's a girl and has nice type, because I could really, really use that. And somebody pointed out these little white-eared ones are really cute, right? They are. They're adorable. They'd get me in trouble on the show table. So they're a bit out of sorts, but gotcha. He found a hole under my shed. Oh, jeez. You could also do live traps. So like set his food in the live trap, let him step on the lever, get him caged up. That's also worked for us. Most of my dum-dums that get out, I literally walk into the barn and they come up to me like, oh, hey, Mom, look what we did. And it's like, so there is some good to overhandling kits at times. They just turn into like puppy dogs. But other than that, live trapping is the best way to go about it. But you want to be careful with live trapping. And also, if your kit got out and it's weaned off of mom, you might consider quarantine if they've been on the ground. I was wondering that. I just didn't want to hurt him. Live traps, they're normally pretty good about like not hurting them, just because it's just a cage with a little spring in it. So basically, how the live trap works is you have a spring set right here that when you step on it, it shuts the door over here, and the rabbit or the animal has to go over it to get the food on this side. So by the time they step on the spring trap, this door shuts, and they're far enough to where it doesn't even like get them. So it shouldn't be a problem. But it's kind of, well, I already fed you. You almost got doubles, Alpha. It kind of depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it, but I like live traps. I feel like there was something. So here in another week, I gotta check my calendar of exactly when to put nest box in. Both our Californians are due, and then Sadie is due. So hopefully we'll have some Californian babies soon. I'm not really necessarily positive we're going to get any babies out of them, though, because it was kind of warm when I bred them, and I think my buck might have been sterile. Saw a bunny that looked exactly like your Harlequin Come back. Okay, I'll have to try that. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Harlequin at fair was so cute. Aw, I love that. Was it an actual Harlequin? I'm not sure of many breeds that allow Harlequin colors, but Harlequins are like absolutely gorgeous. I love them. They're amazing. But yeah, let's see. Vanessa. I'm trying to decide. I kind of, when Vanessa's ready and we're out of this whole quarantine situation, I have a lot I need to rebreed because we're gonna be like a month behind. Like by the time we come out of quarantine, I will have like 4 or 5 does that will be ready for their first breedings. And I'm just like, I need to like plan it out to where I have 2 or 3 at a time. And I need to pair them with more mature does that have been bred before. And I am not looking forward to it, y'all. Like normally I wouldn't have an issue, but with the 40-day quarantine we have, I am not happy. But we have Nina that will be ready to breed, our new silver fox, if I feel she's ready. She's still pretty skitterish. I finally got her to the point where if I put my hand in, she'll come up. What do the Harlequin look like? Give me a second. Let me spray my hands and I'll go show you. When is the chocolate otter? Her name is now Lizifer. It's no longer Lizzie, and Lucifer just wasn't good enough. Her name is Lizifer because Lizifer. You have me on a tangent. Oh my god. So if y'all don't follow me on TikTok, Lizzie got a bloody nose and sent us into a panic because the first thing you think about when bloody nose is RHVD2, full lockdown, full biosecurity. Let's go. It looks like she just like either banged her nose on something or scratched it because she's fine. Nothing's wrong with her. But now we're in a 40-day quarantine just to be sure. Just to be sure. So I can't do anything right now. Even between handling rabbits, I have to alcohol. Like the ridiculousness. I am so angry at Lucifer right now. Okay, come here, Daisy. I'll show you what a Harley looks like. Now, this is a very poorly colored Harlequin. They can be a whole lot better than this, but it's a good example. I know I saw a question pop up through here. Let me pull it up live. What age do you breed the silver fox doe? Just got a trio from 4-H. I like 8 months. Oh, I didn't know who Lizzie was. Yeah, Lizzie, as in Borden, but now her name is Lizifer. So this is a Harlequin. Oh, Daisy. I know I'm stealing you from your... This is a Harlequin. She's a Vienna marked Harlequin. She's very poorly colored. But basically a Harlequin, at least when we're talking about a Japanese Harlequin, they have these squares of pattern, and it'll be black, orange, orange, black, black, orange. So this is a little Harlequin. And we talked about she might be a torted Harlequin. I'm still talking to another breeder about it because I don't know much about torts. Either way, this little jerk is just here. This is my sister's little pet rabbit that she needs to take home at some point. So as soon as Nikki is ready to take this jerk home, she'll be leaving for her new home. But this is Daisy. Daisy is annoying. She is so annoying and sassy. And she's not in a good mood because I haven't been handling her much recently. But she's angry because she thinks she needs fed right now. And she can wait for 2 minutes. But yeah. So yeah, Lizifer is my little chocolate otter doe. She'll be ready, probably I'm trying to decide with her because weight-wise, she's ready, right? She is at an adult senior weight. She is right on the bubble. I could technically breed her earlier than my normal if I wanted to, but I think I want to wait just a little bit because I want to keep taking her to shows, and I don't want to put a pause on that. But I don't want to also wait till January because I can't go to show at the end of the month because of Lizifer being Lizifer. Because I am paranoid, and if that bloody nose turns out to be anything but, and I talked to the state vet already. I have a whole series about it on my TikTok because we've been in panic mode all week. But basically, Let me spray my hands again. Basically, we're just, it's a thing. It's just a thing. And everything is horrible. I love the strawberry penguin kits. I love that pairing. This pairing, I got less usable kits, so to speak. Like, a lot of them have the no nose marking. I got more usable kits last litter. With that being said, the usable kits I get out of the penguin and strawberry pairing are just gorgeous, perfect babies. I love them. They're great. And I live for them. So I'm going to keep that pairing because I don't want to keep pairing her with my lilac buck if my pairing with her to strawberry keeps being this fruitful. So we're going to keep, where did I put, there it is. So we're going to keep going with that and working on that pairing. But yeah, so for the person who asked about silver foxes, I like breeding them at 8 months. Yay, I made it. Hey, hi, how are you doing? I was just ranting about my recent misadventure here on the homestead. It's never a dull moment here. Hey, did I feed you? Maybe. I don't know if that's from this morning or now, but here you go. Have another scoop. I need to get Vanessa. She's fine. I want to get a little more weight on her. Like, I could breed her, and she's at a nice weight, but I would like to get her up a few more ounces. So I'm a little overfeeding her just to get her up a little bit. Vanessa is an amazing mother. She only had 5 kits, but all 5 kits survived. They were chunky. She was amazing. If she wants to keep giving me 5 or 6 per litter and just do that, I'm fine with that. Now, if she wants to give me larger litters and continue to keep 100% survival rate, I'm also great with that. And the thing with her is, I was honestly worried because normally I breed at 8 months for silver foxes, and I bred her a month early, so 7 months. Still beyond what the recommendation is, and she was at a senior weight. But my silver fox girls are sassy, but take pets without protest, so they are so soft. Yes, they are. Silver fox are soft as heck. But so I bred Vanessa about a month early because we were losing the silver fox buck that we were using for breeding because my friend over at Freedom Quail Farms, it was her buck we used, and she moved to Arizona. But so I needed to get her bred, so we got her bred a little early, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a horrible litter, and she did absolutely outstanding. So we gave her a bit longer of a break because she was bred a little earlier, and she did fine. A lot of my does, if bred, so with that size, the recommendation to breed is 6 months. So she was 7 and she was good to go. She might have almost been 8, but I remember her being kind of young. But it's 6 months. I prefer 8-ish because that just gives them a better brain. And normally you have a higher survivability. With the mini breeds like my mini Rex, they recommend you breed them as early as 4 months. They're really dumb at 4 months, and I don't think I'd be like the baby I just showed you, Daisy. She is almost 4 months old. She is just shy of 4 months old, and I could not imagine with her baby brain having kits with her because she dumb. I love her dearly though, but she dumb. Like the stuff she does is dumb. Like same with Blueberry. If y'all don't know who Blueberry is my little Strawberry lookalike. She is Strawberry's daughter, and she's gorgeous. I love her. I wouldn't breed her at 4 months old at the age she is because she's dumb, and she would probably not do well. Farrah Maddie Fawcett has left the barn. I had my hair curled and pretty, and then it started raining, and I'm like, I'm not doing it right now. So it is up in the messiest of, but you could actually, if I put it down, it's still curled. But I have been curling it. I've been doing overnight like heatless curls, and it's cute. I like it. So I am still doing the Farrah Fawcett Maddie hair. It's just, it wasn't great with how wet it is right now. So that's where I am on the Farrah Fawcett hair. It's also at a weird length, so it kind of gets in the way. So still kind of annoyed with it. 1, 2. I got to refill my feed bucket and get my ratios. We have to, so when we put new feed in, we have to put our supplements in there too because we just mix it all together. and we are getting awful. Excuse you, Hawk. You're not supposed to be in here. So we got to get everything taken care of. I need my flashlight. It is getting unreasonably dark, unreasonably quick. I don't like it. 1, 2. Let's see. I just missed a comment. I wish there was like a audio bot that would just read the messages out to me. Da-da-da-da. What's your goal with the silver foxes? Meat pellets, baby, for sale. My goal when it comes to the silver foxes is to improve the breed. They are show rabbits. We breed the standard of perfection. I want nice, large lines that breed large litters with a high survivability rate in kits. And basically, I just want a nice overall meat rabbit that's also a good mother. So I don't know if that's short enough. Aha, there's part of my problem with the light. Give me a second here. There we go. Now I can see everyone. I fixed it. But yeah, so that's my goal, like with the silver fox, is I want something big. I want something that's a good mom, and it has to be showable. So that's kind of where I am with that. But we'll see how that all goes. My lines right now are doing really well. They are larger than they probably should be, because at a senior weight, I'd get kicked off the table for them being fat. Asshole, no. Yes, still learning about the SOP. Okay, so if you want to get into show, or rather not show, sorry, I read 2 comments at once. If you are looking at breeding for meat, right? Just strictly meat, you don't care about anything else. Californians, New Zealand. You want something that grows faster? Californians. You want something with a little color variety, a little pretty, but still pretty good on growing rate? New Zealand's. New Zealand's come in white, red, blue, silver, broken, and a bunch of others. My SOP is not in here. But they also come in a bunch of unrecognized colors like steel. So there's a lot of colors for New Zealand's, and they're still a commercial meat breed. You still get your color. But if you want something that grows out a little better, is a little larger, Californians. Now, and that's because they're the most bang for your buck kind of meat rabbit. Now, if you want to get fancier, you want to go for something that's a little more exotic, a little more expensive, a little prettier to look at, but might cost you a little more. Now, be it out of pocket at the beginning, for feed ratios, because they take longer to grow out, you can try Rex. Rex come in a lot of colors, beautiful pelts, absolutely outstanding, amazing. With that being said, with the Rex, they grow out slower. So I butcher my Rex between 16 to 20-ish weeks to get that nice final pelt. Because you want that, you want the pelt skin to be a little thicker so that you're not cutting holes in it when you're working it. Compared to my Californians, you can't see her because she's in the back corner eating. My Californians, I can butcher out between 8 and 12 weeks, depending on my lines. So, something to think about. Do you want something fast and efficient, or do you want something that's a little slower, still a nice size for a meat rabbit, but is pretty? So, kind of what you're getting at. Also, if you're just breeding for meat, pay attention to what a commercial body type is. Most of your meat rabbits, they have a commercial body type. The closer you breed to a commercial body type, the more meat yield you are going to get for that animal. So not only do we want to pay attention to who's growing out the fastest, how big our animals are, we want a proper type. Because you can have a really heavy rabbit, but it's pinched in the hindquarters. It won't have that nice full loin, and you won't get as much meat yield off the hind end. Same if your shoulders are wrong, or same if you don't have the depth that you want on the animal. So learn your SOP. So your standard of perfection, even if you're breeding for meat, and you don't need to buy it, like just Google commercial body type, and you can go on Google, learn about it, so you can kind of get an idea of what your rabbit should look like. Unless you are raising Himalayans, they should not look like tube socks. Himalayans are adorable tube socks, but your Rex should not look like tube socks. I have had many a tube socks in this barn. I do not raise Himalayans. They are cute, though. We had them at our last show, and the judge was kind of rolling them out like a rolling pin. I have Silver Fox. I've been giving them 1 cup of feed a day. Is that correct? So it depends on... Okay, so your lines, you're going to know better. Are they gaining weight? Are they maintaining weight? Do they have a nice coat? Do they look like healthy animals? Are they producing what you want them to produce? Are moms producing enough milk? You have to kind of take it where you need it to go. What we normally do is a quarter cup per pound of body weight a day. Another ratio that my friends like to use is an ounce of food per pound of body weight. So depending on if you want to use measuring cups or if you want to use a scale, that's kind of like your jumping off point. Now, if you have rabbits that are extremely efficient on feed, a cup a day might work for your silver foxes. My silver fox mostly eat about 2 of these a day, so they eat 2 cups a day. With that being said, they grow out really nice. My adults, I have to cut them back. I can't give my adults 2 cups a day because they get fat. Normally, I do 3/4 of a cup in the morning, 3/4 of a cup at night. I have one bozo in here that can only have half of a cup in the morning and a half a cup at night because he a fat. But you start with a jumping off point and kind of go what works for you. It's your animals, your barn. You have hands on those rabbits, so you're gonna know if they feel right. Okay, I give them 1 cup of feed in the morning and a handful of fresh grass in the evening. They are very healthy and not overweight. Hey, if that works, they have nice flesh condition, you're running hands over them, you like the way they feel, they don't have pin bones, then that works. That's perfect for your program because your lines are going to be different than my lines. We have the starting off point of where we can start, and depending on our breed, our lines, we can move from there. It's kind of like the idea of, hey, this is how I do it, but my way may not work for you. Like for instance, I feed oats on top of my complete pellet, and all the oats do is they help the moms in milk, and they also make for really nice skinning coats for the show table. Absolutely not needed for the average person who is doing a very moderate breeding cycle and is not showing. That was the creepiest thing. I just saw like a white little thing over my shoulder. It was just one of the rabbits moving. Whoo, that was a moment. That was a moment. So, do what works for your barn. Other than that, I can only give you advice because, I'm not there to put hands on your rabbits. But I'm just trying right now. I'm going to get a chitter chatter in, and I'm not going to get my feeding done before it gets dark, and that is no win. But everyone's doing pretty good. I gotta get this barn fed, I gotta get the butcher barn fed, and then I gotta go into the garage and get quarantine fed. So once I get once in the quarantine area, I'll be happy because it's in the garage and it's like cool, but it's not like outside cold. Like my fingers are going numb right now and my nose is running something fierce and I feel horrible about it because I'm sitting here trying not to freeze. It's cold. This is supposed to be like the end of summer, not the beginning of winter. And I don't know if that... Okay. The guineas are rounding up their compadres. But yeah, so I really would like for Colorado. I saw a thing on TikTok and it was the Colorado news station because, old forms of media have to be new aged. And they were reminding us that in 2020, this day in 2020, we got 6 inches of snow. It's like, why do you have to do that to us? Why do you have to remind us of bad times and be like, oh yeah, just be happy it's like 80 degrees right now because this time in 2020 it was it was snowing. And it's like, no, keep that away from us because now they jinxed us, right? They're like, it snowed at this time at this year and now it's dropping down. It's dropping down. It's like, you jinxed us, you liars. So yeah, that's the fun of living in the mountains of Colorado, just in case you were wondering. It's sometimes fun. Why are you... There it goes. Also, fun little hackety hack. If your bottles break, right? So your fancy schmancy bottles you paid so much money for at the feed store, and all you have left are the nipples, don't throw those nipples out. Just drink yourself a Coke or this was a Smart Water at some point, or a Sprite, and it makes for a perfect water bottle that you can reuse in your barn. It's perfect, and it only costs me the price of a drink. It's just like a standard, like, it works, and it saves you money because these things, the normal water bottles I get are anywhere from $3 to $10, depending on which brand I'm getting, what kind I'm getting, and I would rather just pay like $1 to $1.50 for a Diet Pepsi or a Diet Coke and get a brand new bottle for the rabbitry. And you know how many of these nipples I just have lying around? Like 20. Because my bottles in the winter like to explode, or the rabbits will knock them off and they'll break. So it's like, oh, okay, this works. This is a lot better than me spending an insane amount of money just replacing all of my water bottles. And the thing is that these water bottles get gross, like to the point where you don't want to really scrub them out because they're just that gross. You don't feel bad about just throwing them in the recycling bin because, you know, it's just an old bottle you used. But yeah. And then if you're really fancy, right, you can get a bunch of Mountain Dew bottles and they can all be green. No? Okay. I thought, you know, I'm trying to think. Too bad that, you know, like beer bottles don't come in a plastic form. That would be kind of funny. Just because, you know, weird sense of humor. But other than that, like, you can use a lot of things. Another thing I like to use, if you're getting started and you want to go kind of for the cheaper way, you know when you get food and it's in like a little plastic Tupperware container, like cottage cheese or sour cream, or what's the other one I just got? I'm a dairy fanatic, okay? Cream cheese, all the cheeses. You know they come in little Tupperware containers? Don't throw the Tupperware container out. Now it's a new, like, sanitize it, and now it's a new food bowl for your rabbitry. And you don't have to go buy yourself like an expensive like container, and it works. Like if you are in a pinch and you need something, just reuse the stuff you have from like your kitchen or your storage area. As long as you like sanitize it, it's good to go. And I absolutely, Freak's water was fuller than I thought. And it is just an absolute wonderful trick, especially when you're trying to save money raising rabbits. Just reuse everything. This is also the reason my husband might call me a hoarder at times. Like, here I am in the kitchen, like, gathering bottles and creamers, and he's like, what are you doing? And it's like, the precious trash can be reused. And he's just like, oh God, that's my wife. And it's like, yeah, it can be reused. Like, that milk carton in the summer, I throw it in the deep freeze, and now it's hillbilly air conditioning for my rabbits. And I like it better than like buying things, because everything in the world right now is so expensive for no reason. So I guess my little rant here is just, you don't need to buy new things to achieve your goals. My great grandmother always used Tupperware to feed our animals. Exactly. Tupperware containers are like an amazing little hack. Like, they are the best thing. And, you know, the worst that's going to happen is your rabbits are going to chew on them, which they're going to chew on any of your plastic bowls, whether they be like actual pet bowls or not. I'll tell you another trick I learned. Our Walmart was having a sale in the baby section, and I got these nifty little plastic baby bowls. There were 6 in a pack, right? Look how nice size these are. Baby bowls. Because I was looking for bowls for my daughter. And I'm like, I'm going to get 2 packs of these. 1 pack is staying in the house for my youngest. The other pack is going into the rabbit barn. 6 of them for like $2 or $2.50. Way better than buying the pet bowls on the other side of Walmart that are kind of the same thing. Oh no, it's a cracked water bottle. Oh no! How cracked are you? Speaking of cracked bottles, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw that out. And I have another water bottle right there I didn't even know I had for a second. Ha! See? I'm telling you. Useful. Useful in my shenanigans, friends. Save the day once again, my little pile and my hordes and heaps. Here you go, babies. The nonsense I get into on this homestead, I swear. My husband still thinks I'm nuts. I think I have finally gotten him to the point where he isn't too weirded out by some of the stuff we do on the homestead. Sometimes he still thinks I do weird things, but we're getting better. We had a little date day today, and we went down to the springs, right? And I got all dressed up and all pretty and nice. And he took me to Crumble Cookie, and I got like the French toast one. And the only reason we went is we were driving by, and I'm like, ooh, Crumble, and I just see him go, because he thinks they are the most ridiculous expensive cookies, and they are, right? But I wanted a cookie, so he takes us. We get a cookie, and then I'm just eating like this 1,200 calorie cookie in front of him, feeding bits of it to the child in the back. And I'm like, oh, do you want some? And he's like, is that just a hunk of butter on top of that cookie? I'm like, yeah, I think it is. And I'm like, it might be buttercream, but it's still some kind of butter. And it was like a hunk like this on top. And I had spread it over the cookie. He's like, that can't be good for you. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it'll clog my arteries, but it's delicious. And then we went to the Home Depot. This is the kind of dates we go on. We went to the Home Depot. My kids are already eating food and grass at 3 weeks old. Is that okay? I'm seeing some of them feed on the mom, though. That's normal. What you'll see at that age is the babies will come out of the nest and start mimicking and eating with mom. If you're worried about it, like GI stasis, you can throw some hay in there to eat, and that can help kind of slow down like their digestive systems and help with that good gut flora. So yeah, so we go to like the Home Depot, and we start talking about all the things that we want to do with like the homestead. Like we're talking about getting a new fence, putting up a new barn, completely changing everything around, and like just talking more about the homestead. And we go to do that. And then after we're done at the Home Depot, we start just like goofing off. And then we went to there's this little barbecue place in town. It's called Peak Barbecue. And like we went there, and we just like sat and had a beer and just chit-chatted and ate nachos. Like class A, like parent date. I loved it. Because normally we don't get much time away from the heathens. And we still have the youngest with us, but the eldest was in school. And the youngest was asleep for most of it. So like we actually got some time together. And that was like super nice. I enjoyed that. Because, you know, how often do adults like get to spend time together away from their kids? It's not often. All right, let's get these quail fed. Oopas. All right, task 1 for the chores are done for the day, which is absolutely outstanding because it's cold. I can't feel my fingers. They're numb. I still have to collect eggs. And I forgot a bowl. So I got to figure out how I'm going to collect these eggs. And it's... Did you all put yourselves to bed? Oh my gosh, you guys are so good tonight. I'm like, where are all my chickens? They're like, you're taking too long, Mom. Y'all, in the summer, it was still light outside, and now it's like not. I need to shut that because Kiwi's out here. But yeah, I'm cold. That's all it is. I am cold right now. There goes Panda. Menace to society, I swear. So, go over here. Get everything here taken care of. Butcher barn's probably going to be too dark. Let me see. Yeah, it's pretty dark in here. I'll put y'all out on the fence real quick and just feed the rabbit here. But yeah. Y'all, I'm going to figure out if I want to start doing my lives earlier in the winter just because of how dark it gets. Do not lie to me. You have food right there. Your dad fed you already. Nice try, Dallas. Yeah, I see those ears. She's coming up to me like, oh, mother, I need fed. And it's like she has this whole pile of hay in the front. It's like, you don't need fed. You're a liar. Kiwi. All right. You know what? With it being dark, I might just feed the quail here in a second and go a little out of order. We'll go into the quarantine area. It's warm in there, and I can like do something in there while we talk for a little while longer before I come back out, grab the quail eggs. That way we can actually see each other face to face, and I can rant more about Lizifer. because that rabbit. Oh, round and round the kiwi goes. Good, do it again. You want to do it again? Did it round? Yeah, round and round the kiwi goes. Round and round. She gets so excited about going inside. All right, take the boots off. And... Hey, City. Don't keep that too close to your face. You'll hurt your eyes. Out to the quarantine area. I just changed my boots. Can't have the same boots in the quarantine area. Everyone's doing pretty good. The babies are good. If you look, Cookie's doing great. She's doing fantastic. Aren't you, Cookie? Then we go down here. One has a litter of little chinchilla babies, and they're doing fantastic. Look at the little itty bitties. We lost a couple. We lost the smallest runt, and then we lost another smaller one this morning. So hopefully, now she has 8 instead of 10. Hopefully these all make it, but it's not surprising. She normally only has litters about this size, so I was kind of worried about her, like, actually doing well with a litter this size, but lots of chinchillas in here. Look at little baby chinchillas. Look at them. They're just so cute. They're just so cute. All slept together. Oh, I love chinchilla babies. We'll see. Most of these are probably going to end up in the freezer just because we're trying to stock up for winter, but if I have a really nice little chinchilla doe in here, that'd be great too. And she's so cute. Look how tiny they are. These guys are a week old, so they're doing fantastic. I'm really happy with them. I'm just gonna set y'all. Let's see if I can get y'all set up in here so that you can see the cuteness for a minute while I do the feeding. Is that cute? Is that good? I don't know. Maybe not. Things Madison tries that doesn't work. So there's that. Then we have Little Miss down there. That's Emma. Then we have this girl right here. There's Sadie and Lulu and Moose Man. And then the cause for everything that is horrible in life because she decided she was going to injure herself, or at least we think she just tried to injure herself, Miss Lizifer. Because apparently somebody just can't act right. And she is just living it up here in this climate-controlled garage. Because why wouldn't she be? It's like having air conditioning and everything you could ever want as a rabbit. And she's just like, oh yeah, this is chill. It's like, I thought you were dying. And you just want to be like, oh yeah, this is all great and fine and dandy. It's like, my dude, you have been causing me so much flack and want to pretend like everything is just fine and dandy like cotton candy. It's rude, and I don't appreciate it. And then I'm setting y'all up against the quail because the quail are acclimating to the outdoors right now. And I don't know where I put my scooper for the quarantine area. Also, I can't wear my boots in here, so I'm in sock feet because that is the kind of nonsense you deal with when one of the hooligans wants to hooligan. And then you gotta put half your barn into quarantine because, you know, sometimes things happen and it's like, oh my God, now what? And they're just like, oh, psych. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I prefer a psych, but I would prefer y'all not be dramatic. So that would be great too. But I don't know. Maybe someday they'll be a little less dramatic because this throws so much of my schedule off. Look at this. So much of my schedule off. Like, it's ridiculous how much they want to be heathens. But it's okay because we'll just consider it a break. Everything's fine. Everything's good. I'm not losing my mind. You are losing your mind. There you go, Mama. So I'm just hoping that it is an overreaction and nothing is going on, but it's better safe than sorry. And then hopefully, once we go past that 40-day point, everything will be good. One, you have to eat your food in with your babies because you're not nursing. One is driving me nuts this pregnancy, and I'm glad this is her last pregnancy because she has not been wanting to feed her babies. So what I've been doing is I've been filling her cup and making her eat while in her nesting box. Because at least then I can ensure that she's feeding them. Because if she doesn't, then she's not eating. So I can kind of keep track and keep an eye on her while she's doing that. Look, mamas. One. Hey. Look at mamas. But she kind of don't. Hello, I didn't see who that was. Give me a second to pull up the live chat. Hello, MB. How are you doing? I am dealing with quarantine people right now. And by people, I mean the rabbits that are in quarantine and just want to be menace to society. Just sheer, pure menace. There's menace. Menaces. I think this is a mice, meese, moose situation, but I don't know. Like, I'm even in my sock feet because I can't have boots in here. Absolute menaces to society, all of you. And the thing is I have 2 litters in here right now. And then that one right there, this girl right here, I bred the Gigi. I bred her 3 weeks ago. She should be having babies in a week, hopefully. Because that's how I get my lynx, is I breed a castor to a, like, non-castor, like a lilac, and it gets my lynx. And I would really like more of those so that when I go to convention next year, I can have a lot of them. That way I can pull up to convention. Like, if I have 20 lynx for convention, that would be cool. Hey, Moosey Doosey. My goosey man. So, that's the goal for that, but I'm trying to decide also, because, like, I'm like, who do I really want to keep out of XYZ lines? So, sorry, my parrot, his favorite thing to do is to sit on his perch. This time of night, it's dark, and he'll sit there, Thor, Balto, Kiwi, and then he'll sit there and wait for the dogs to, like, go around the house, like, somebody's calling us. And then when the dogs are looking, he'll sit there and he'll go, heh, 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 heh. Like, he thinks he is the funniest fun boy because he is making the dogs walk in circles around the house. It's like my dude, why? Hey, Lizzie. You're annoying, you know that, girly? But yeah, so welcome to the quarantine area. It's great because it's climate controlled. Horrible because it causes me so much extra work for no reason. Well, there is a reason, but no reason from a standpoint of I think Lizzie is just being, like, annoying, you know. Making sure I didn't miss any comments while I was feeding. But yeah, like, everyone's doing good, and I'm happy with the progress of our kits. Cookie, if you weren't here earlier, Cookie's a girl. Cookie's our little champagne baby. She's starting to silver up in her chest, so she should be getting her superhero mask soon. Really excited about that. And one is eating inside the nest box. Good. That means her babies can actually eat and get some food, because otherwise, I don't know if you can see it or not, that little black in the nesting box, that's the mom sitting there eating her feed and, like, chilling. So yeah, annoying. I love her dearly, but she is being a horrible mother this time, which is unusual for her because normally she's pretty good, but she doesn't really, she's not very perceptive of this litter. I think it might have been because there were just so many of them and it overwhelmed her. This litter was quite a bit bigger when it was first born compared to litters she's had in the past, where she has, 5, 6, and she had 10, which is like double or nearly double, which that's a lot more babies. So we'll see how she does. And then once we come out of quarantine, Lulu will be ready for her first litter. Emma will be ready for her first litter. And Lizzie will be, Lizifer is her name now. Lizifer will be ready for her next litter. And then I need to decide if I want to breed Sadie again, if I want to breed Solstice again. I'm going to be rebreeding Vanessa. I'm going to be rebreeding Hawk and Tati. And then I also have more mini Rex that should be ready that need a first time breeding within the next couple months. So Blueberry is coming of age. That she'll be ready soon. Who am I missing? Nina. Y'all haven't met Nina yet. Nina is my chocolate carrying silver fox. She's a little doe I got. She's to help improve our fur lines, and she's also a chocolate carrier. So that will be super nice because, you know, we can get some chocolates in here. I'm super excited for that. I'll hold back one of her bucks and I'll breed it back to her to see if we can get some chocolates. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. But other than that, basically what I'm saying is once this quarantine period is over, I am going to be breeding a lot of bunnies. A lot of babies and a lot of bunnies. But everyone's doing pretty good. We are getting rid of Belle. I've talked about that like a million times. Belle's going, Cookie's her replacement. Chow Chow is coming up in the ranks. Chow Chow is probably going to be replacing either Hawk or Tati. We kind of have to play around to see how they do in their next breeding because the past couple of times they've been kind of meh as mothers. So after my first litter, looking at the babies, I knew it was going to be an addiction. Yes, breeding bunnies. Oh my gosh. Raising rabbits can be such an addiction. It is so much fun. And like when you go out and you have brand new little baby bunnies, it's such a little happy, like serotonin boost of like, I love you. This is amazing. And then when they start to get annoying, well, then you don't have to deal with them anymore because normally when they start getting annoying is when you go to butcher them out. And the reason why they're annoying is hormones. All right. So, you know, it's so much fun and it is so addictive. You just got to get past like the cuteness factor. If you can get past the cuteness factor, everything is fine and dandy. That cage likes to stick on the lever. But yeah, so it is so much fun. And like with the silver foxes and the champagnes, watching them change color is so much fun. I'm enjoying watching Cookie change. And the silver foxes, it's really fun to see their silvering come in. You don't get that with the Rex. They don't have that like, oh, pardon me. Ugh, darkness is getting me. You don't have that like really cool color change, but it's still a lot of fun because you get to see the babies grow up and kind of get bigger and grow, and then then you get food for the freezer, which is always a pro. But yeah, and then this weekend, I have a set of eggs on lockdown. I have another set of eggs going on lockdown tomorrow, so hopefully we'll be having some more quails. I also put some chicken eggs in the one incubator because I'm trying to get more chickens. I don't think And also, I have something that has never happened before. I have a chicken egg. I candled it. It looked fine. It looked good. And it started oozing foam. Like there's no cracks in it or anything. It's like this foam is coming from the shell. But I don't want to open up the incubator to let out all the humidity. But if they don't hatch by tomorrow, I'm going to go in there, see what's going on, and take that egg out because it's weird. I don't like it. It's gross. And I'm afraid it's a green egg, right? And my luck with green eggs, the last time I had green eggs, it exploded in my face. And the smell, you could just taste the smell. And oh, it was not good. Something I want to try though. Have you all ever heard of Blute? So basically, it's fertilized duck eggs. And they fertilize to a certain point, and then you like boil them. And apparently they're like really good, and I really want to try one, but I don't want to try one by making it myself on the first time. Like I actually want to go somewhere and like have somebody who knows what the heck they're doing make it for me, because otherwise it's just gonna be like gross. So I want to try it though. I feel like it's going to be interesting. I've tried the century eggs. Those are really good. It's like an egg, but it's more eggy, if that makes sense. It has a lot stronger of a flavor, but it was really good, especially with salt. But I want to try blues next. I think that would be good when it comes to like weird chicken, duck, egg type things. But other than that, what else would be good? Have y'all yeah, I don't know if I could do that, but yeah, you incubate them for like 12 days or something. See, that's the thing, right? I don't I feel like if I would do it myself, right? I would do it a disservice and I would screw it up and be like, "Oh my gosh, I got like it's gross." And it wouldn't really be gross. It'd just be I was ignorant to how to actually prep it correctly. So I need to talk to some friends and be like, "Hey, how do you do this?" Hello, hello. How are you doing? I am sitting in my quarantine area just chilling with my dodo brains because the dodo brain over here, now known as Lizifer on the homestead, she's just way too pleased with herself. Look at her eating her food like a maniac. Um, decided to get a bloody nose, and we went into full RHVD2 quarantine procedures. And by all accounts, we called the state vet and everything, and like got everything set up. Talked to them. And they're like, "Yeah, we can't really do anything. Here's what you're gonna do: go into quarantine. Blah 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 blah. If it dies, then we'll step in." And it's like, okay, when do we expect that to happen? Oh, 4 to 6 days after initial incident. Processed 7 rabbits for the first time. Congratulations! How did it go? Tell me more. Did it go well? But yeah, something should happen within 4 to 6 days after it happens. So it happened on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're on day 4 and she's acting the same. So she might have just gotten a bloody nose from like banging her face on the cage or like scratching herself. And yeah, I'm tired. I'm very, very tired of her bowl. Of her bowl. It's not funny, Rick. Rick's sitting there going, he's still doing it. My misery is entertaining to my bird. Anyone want a military macaw? He'll bite your face. And he's not nice. Learning more with each one we do. Yes, exactly. When it comes to butchering your livestock with your rabbits, the more you do, the more you learn, the better you get at it. So I always tell somebody like the first is the worst. I just found a little black kitten in my yard. Oh, I'm really bad because I will find things and I'm like, you're coming home with me. I love kittens. My husband said we have 4. 4 is enough. But he did say I could get a barn cat. So if for whatever reason I stumble upon him, I don't know. We had this little black kitten. Do you butcher inside during the winter? Yes, I do. My hands hurt too much in the winter to do it outside. So I either do it here in the garage or I do it depending on how many I have. If I just do one, I'll do it at the sink. But if I have like a lot to do, I'll do it here in the garage because concrete floors are easier to clean compared to my linoleum. But if I'm only doing one, then it's not worth getting the garage ready to do one. But I have like a mass butcher I really need to get done after we're done with this like 40-day quarantine. So once that's done, I have mini Rex I need to butcher out. I have Rex I need to butcher. I'll have a silver fox, one because the rest of them we're either keeping or we already sold for meat projects. So that's fun. And I'm starting to get 4-H kids again contacting me. So they're like, "Hey, looking at showing next year. Can I get on your wait list?" This one kid, bless his patience, bless his soul. He has wanted either a blue or a lilac out of me, and I was up front. I was way clear. I'm like, "Hey, get on somebody else's wait list just in case." When it comes to lilacs, when it comes to blues, I have about one every 20 to 40 rabbits, depending on who I breed together. It just doesn't happen because it's a diluted color. Blue is the dilute of black, and then lilac is the dilute of chocolate. So things just have to work out. And every single month, I email him back, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you so and so had their kits. Here's what the colors are looking like. I know you said you wanted a lilac or a blue, but just know this is what we have." I'm still waiting for a lilac or a blue. It's like, I hope I get one for you. I'm like, if I don't get one for you by the time show is here, like we're gonna figure something out to where at least you'll have a rabbit to show for fair. But he was at the fair where one of my chocolates took grand champion, and he's like, that is the kind of rabbit I want. And then I showed him the other colors that we got, and he's like, "No, never mind. I don't want a chocolate. I want a lilac or a blue." And it's like, okay, cool. Just so you know, here's what's going on with that. So And like I said, he's been on the wait list for a while, but I have others like they're like, I don't care what color it is, just get me something with a nice type. But it has to be within like a certain age range. So some of them are like hanging off for a bit. I have a couple waiting for meat pin projects that they really want to do. Some want to do Rex this year for meat pin, which is interesting, I suppose. I was like, oh, why don't you do like Silver Fox or Californians for meat pen? But they like the colors of the Rex, which is cool and fine and dandy. But if you're not doing something like a black or a rue or something that can be universal across the board, meat pins are a little difficult because you want them to be identical, all three rabbits, because the idea is one for yourself, one for the freezer, one for a friend, right? And you don't want to be able to like differentiate it. So yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We're done showing for the year. We will be showing next year, starting in January, and I think I have caboodled my husband into agreeing to go to convention next year in Louisville. So 2023 ARBA convention, Louisville. I will be there, and I'm bringing my bunnies. I'm hoping to get a lot of like little Lynx mini Rex. I'm bringing at least one. I'm bringing hopefully Lulu. If her coloring comes in correct on the shoulder, her coloring's a little off on that undercoat up towards the shoulder, great towards the back end, but not like convention level. But also they keep threatening to, what is that in my barn? What are you? What? Oh, are you a hummingbird? Why is there a hummingbird in my garage? Or is that a hummingbird moth? I don't know. It's too high up and I'm blind. I need a net. I don't even know if I have a net. I think that's a hummingbird moth now that I look at it. Sorry, I just had a complete another squirrel moment. I need a net and I don't think I have one. And I don't want to hit it with a broom because I don't want to kill it. And this poor thing, like, if you look, like, look. I think it's it's a moth, so it looks like a little hummingbird moth. Look at it. I need a net. Oh, poor baby. Squirrel. Squirrel. I'll turn the light off and see if I can get him out of here later. Or maybe if I open this back door, he can get out. And turn the light on. There we go. Maybe that'll get him to go on his merry way. Run away, little buddy. Be free. But yeah, so even if Lulu isn't convention level, and I know she isn't, I might take Lulu to convention just so the numbers for Lynx go up because I don't want to lose that color. But it's the same with like my lilacs. I need to get more lilacs to show because they're threatening to take those away. And there are so many colors that they're threatening to take away from both Rex and Mini Rex where I'm like, well, I can't really afford to take 100 rabbits to show, but I also don't want to lose all my color lines because that would suck. But yeah, so, and then for convention, I want to take my best champagne. I want to take my best Silver Fox. And then I want to take a whole bunch of Lynx Mini Rex and a whole bunch of Chinchilla Rex. And my goal for all of that nonsense is just to basically get the numbers up. To be honest, when it comes to convention, I will be happy if I just get a good job and a pat on the head. I have no, like, I'm not going to lie to myself. Like, when you go up to convention level, it's not even just a lot of times you'll come to show here, and it's a huge difference from the winner to second place. When you go to convention, the amount of nitpicking on the table, you'll get like 100 rabbits in a variety, right? So let's say they have like, they call up the variety for casters, right? And they'll call them up, and they'll look at all the casters, and they have like little measuring tapes, and they're going hard on the most like they're blowing on the fur rings and being like, oh, sorry, this is slightly off by like 1/4 of a centimeter. It's not going to place today. And it's like, the fur is off by 1/4 of a centimeter. Or like they'll have like the most obscure little things to nitpick because the competition is so good and the rabbits are so amazing. So like, if I just get like a little pat on the head of, oh, these are some really nice rabbits, I'll just be like, that was judged from the ARBA convention said that I have really good rabbits. Like that's the level I'm at. I would just be like, perfect, great, love it, we're going. But imagine if I would win something at convention, I would die. Like it doesn't even need to be something like extreme. It can be like best of group or best of variety. I would die. Like they would call my rabbit and you would just see me like faint right there because I'd be like, ugh, it's so good, it's great. And then my husband would think I was nuts and ask me to leave early because I had a like some kind of fit, and he'd be like, "I think this is too like not good enough, or I don't think this is good for like your blood pressure and your health." And I'd be like, "No, I want to stay and watch the bunnies." I have yet to tell him how long convention lasts and how it's just bunnies upon bunnies upon bunnies upon bunnies. I've only taken him to day shows that last like 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours at the most. So when we go to convention and it's just bunnies, bunnies, bunnies for hours and hours and hours, I expect him to be like, y'all are nuts. Like they're literally just looking at bunnies, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, isn't it great? And he's gonna be like, yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. I have no idea what they're talking about. It's like I have no idea what they're talking about either. Like I'm just not at that level to know. Like they'll be like, the density is not quite springy enough on this one compared to the other one. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you're 100% right. And in the back of my mind, it's like, I can't really touch the rabbit, so I have no idea what they're talking about, but I'll take their word for it. It's kind of like when Wiley won a competition against, I honestly thought Wiley wasn't going to win Best Opposite when he did, and he did because the girl who brought her silver foxes were just, I thought they were so far beyond what I produced. And then I wish there was rabbit shows where I'm from. Yeah, there are a lot of places, unfortunately, that don't have rabbit shows or they don't have like ARBA style rabbit shows. And it is kind of sad just from a standpoint of it is so much fun. You get to meet a lot of new people. Um, but I could understand why in a lot of places there aren't because getting enough people to show up to those shows to be interested in it can be a challenge. So, or it's just a lot of people they don't have the means to go or they don't have the means to raise rabbits, which is completely understandable. But it is sad because it is something I would love to like share with people and be like, oh, look at this thing I did. So yeah. Y'all, I got talking about rabbits and I just looked at the time and I need to go because Danny and I are rewatching the Game of Thrones because we are going to watch the House of the Dragon together. Danny has never watched Game of Thrones the entire way through. So I'm like sitting here like I really want to tell you what happens, but I'm also like I can't ruin it for him. And then he's already guessed that Joffrey is not the son of the king, like he's not a Baratheon, he's a Lannister, and he's already guessed it. And he guessed it in like episode 3 of season 1 before like Ned Stark even goes to like when I should probably say should I say spoilers? Spoilers, y'all, spoilers if you watch this show. But anyway, Joffrey isn't the son of king. And Danny like automatically is like, yeah, that's not his son. It's like, how do you know it's not his son? He's like, do you not see Jaime and Cersei right now? Like, whole plot of the show right there. And it's like, you're no fun. You are absolutely no fun. And he's like, so when is this character? He's like, I can't wait for Joffrey to die. And he mentioned like he couldn't wait for him to like head off kind of moment. I'm like, oh, his death is much more satisfying. And he just kind of looks at me like, oh, is it? And it's like, oh, yes, it is. Except for in the Fallout, it's a lot worse. But anyway, I'm digressing. I'm getting all over the place. Game of Thrones is a lot of fun. Not great to watch around children, though. That's the only thing is it can get a little intense on a lot of levels. So adult show only, and there is a lot of everything in the Game of Thrones. So, but really great. Last season was a disappointment. George R.R. Martin needs to get my books to me. I read those when I was like a teenager, and now I don't have any more books, and I want to see how he ends it in the books. And I'm getting on a tangent again, and I really need to stop doing this. But what I'm saying is, the books set this up for an amazing ending. The show flopped, but they have a bunch of spin-offs, so I'm excited about it, and I will rewatch season 8. Yes, Game of Thrones is amazing. I love it. Y'all will have to tell me who your favorite character in the Game of Thrones is. Um, the Imp. The Imp is probably mine. He is just witty. He is great. I love him. Um, Tywin's also amazing. The wittiness, how the way he picks up on things, great. I also love when Tyrion shoots Tywin. That was awesome too. So crossbow moment, amazing, awesome. Um, did you just get your? No, you didn't get your foot stuck. Sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, Game of Thrones. If y'all haven't watched it and you are able to watch it because you are an adult and you understand how horrible the show is from a standpoint of blood, gore, violence, sex kind of moment, it's a great watch. Highly recommend it. If you are an avid book reader, the books are amazing. They can be a little slow at times, but they give you a whole lot more insight. And the characters in the books are a whole lot worse than in the show because the depth that goes into their heads. Cersei is interesting. And then also, I've gotten onto Catelyn slander talk. So basically, Catelyn is the Stark matriarch. She is the head of the Stark household. She is Ned Stark's wife. And the amount of slander to that character, and I don't disagree with it either, about how she doesn't really love her daughters. She's obsessed over her sons. She doesn't listen to instructions. Oh, how's Lucifer? Him right there. Look at her smug little face as she's munching on her dinner. Look at that smug little face, living the best freaking life. Look at her eating her food, acting like everything is just normal and perfect. Look at this. Look at this. We should be seeing something. Something should be going on, and look at this. At least you got a clean barn. This isn't even my barn. Well, yeah, the barn is clean because I cleaned it out, but this isn't my garage. I have a clean garage now, too. This jerk. Look at her. Just munching on her food like the happiest happy bun ever. And she's eating more in the garage than she ever did in the barn. I think it's because it's climate controlled. Yeah, with her frozen water bottle, which I need to go sanitize and refreeze. She is living the high life. And look, she's even getting, for all the people who yell that I don't feed my rabbits hay, I brought their own little bale of hay in here. And like I was worried about her eating, so I've been throwing hay in there too. And this rabbit is going to be the death of me. This rabbit's going to be the death of me. Throwing my schedule off, but at least I have a clean barn and a clean garage and we've decided the perfect mixture of names, Lizifer. Do you think it was a blood vessel or what? So I either think it was a bursted blood vessel or she like banged her face on it, or maybe she scratched it. But with the way she's eating, the way she's acting, like it's not typical signs of RHVD2. And now, granted, this is day 4 after the initial happenings, and they said 4 to 6 days. So I still have until like Sunday, Monday to be like 100% in the clear. But with the way she's acting and the way she's eating, it's completely normal for her. Like I opened the cage door and she's like, "Oh, hey, I need attention." So she's not even acting different. She's still acting like her little entitled self who needs all the loves and attentions. Yeah, she seems 100% fine. So more than anything, she's annoying and like I love that rabbit dearly. Like she's one of my favorite rabbits. So I was like panicking, especially since I could have lost my entire rabbitry. But at the same time, like Klutz. She's just gonna be the new Klutz. So and look, she's even grooming her. Oh, she stopped doing it. She's just up there grooming herself. She's just standing there grooming herself, just acting all normal and happy. The rest of the time this rabbit is in my barn, it's just gonna be Lucifer slander. Slandering this rabbit about how horrible she is and how she just wants to be a drama queen. But anyway, I got off on a tangent. I'm supposed to be going so that my husband and I can watch our Game of Thrones together and have like a little date night moment. Continuing our date day moment because he just got home. So anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for stopping by. There's something else I was gonna say, and I can't remember. It was like an announcement type of thing, and I can't remember. But I keep getting suspended from going live on TikTok, and no one joins When do you go live? I'll sit on your lives and annoy the ever living crap out of you. Thank you so much. Daisy May, shoot me a message either over here or on TikTok. Tell me when you're going live. I will come annoy you. It'll be great. Like whenever I feel like it. Now you're giving me the same answer I give everyone of I'll go on when I'm feeling it. Next time you go on, shoot me a message on TikTok and be like, "Hey, I'm going live on this place or that place," and I'll come bother you. We will go be annoying to each other. It'll be glorious. It'll be magnificent. We'll talk for rabbits, or we'll talk about rabbits for at least an hour. But yeah, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. I'm gonna awkwardly touch the exit button like always.